Hey everyone, this is Rod from Two Black Campers. On this episode, we're going to tackle that air vent. Okay, so on this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and actually just talk about all the things that I did. So some of the stuff didn't work out well, some of it did, but hopefully it'll help someone. First thing I did was I went in and I started taking all the screws out on the inside. This wasn't a real hard thing to do. So you just get up in there, you start taking them out. Now, being on the inside of a teardrop camper like we have, that's actually a pretty difficult thing. It's just kind of cramped. You know, as I've said before, I'm not a real small guy, so it was a little cramped in there. But I started taking all the screws out. When I took those screws out, a lot of dust and sawdust and other stuff that was up in there kind of fell on me. But you know, it was kind of funny in the moment. But I understand that, you know, that just kind of happens. So after being inside of the camper and I took all of those screws out of the air vent or the vent fan, whatever you want to call it, I took all those screws out, took the plate off, took everything out that I could do on the inside. I then went to the top of the camper and started tackling, trying to scrape all of the sealant off and everything that was on there. Now, I'll be the first one to say, I have no idea exactly how to do that. I've looked up everything and they say this is what you should do, this is maybe what you should do. I had about 5 different scraper type things and I just used all 5 of them and figured out which one works best. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how to take that stuff off. So I just started using all the tools that I had at my disposal. The best tool that I found actually was something that's designed to take caulk off. But hey, it works, so I used it. Now, after several minutes or whatever you want to call it of just scraping at this stuff and trying to get it off, the next thing that I did was actually try to just expose all of the screws. So I went around and scraped everything off from, you know, that connected to the top of the camper. But I just went through and tried to expose all of the screws because that was my next thing that I needed to tackle. Once I had started taking all the screws out, I went in and started just, first I tried to loosen them all by hand. I used my power tools or whatever I had at my disposal to just get those screws out of the top. That really wasn't that hard of a thing. Now you'll see later that I left one in accidentally. So when I was trying to take the top off, it wouldn't come off and then I had to go back and get it off again. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, so something else that happened was safety first, people, because I cut my finger. It really wasn't terrible, but I did cut my finger. I didn't have gloves on, so wear gloves if you're gonna be scraping stuff because you might cut yourself. Okay, so now after I took all of the screws out and then I went through and scraped everything that I could scrape off, now was the fun part. Take the actual fan out of the roof. So I went ahead and took the fan out and you know, it looked crazy. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt some kind of way, like I done went too far. I have gone too far, but I took it out anyway, and hey, we did it. So after taking all the screws out the inside, taking all the screws off the outside, scraping the sealant off the top, now I had to peel it off and take it out. Okay, so now I've done that. So the next thing I need to do, well, I skipped a step. I actually had to go back in and cut the wires on the inside because the way that it's ran in there, I really couldn't figure out how to get it out. And I figured, well, what's the point of keeping them in there? I'm gonna take it out anyway. So I just cut all of the wires on the inside, pulled everything out, and then went back to the top before I took it off. I left that part out. Next thing I needed to do was go in and try to clean it all up. So I spent a very long time just scraping and scraping and scraping, trying to get it as smooth down as I can. Now, I've read different things. Some people say don't use mineral spirits. Some people say use mineral spirits. I decided not to use mineral spirits because I wasn't sure. Okay, so that's it. There you have it. That's how I took the fan out of my camper. I do have a surprise on the next video, so make sure to join us and stay tuned, man. You all been on YouTube before, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Thank you for watching. Follow us. We also on Instagram, so make sure you jump on and follow us on Instagram and keep seeing the world in full color. Catch you later.